As electric vehicle production ramps up, it's time to look for safe EV stocks for long-term gains. There is more clarity around the EV sector, which is why it's time to consider looking at EV stocks for long-term gains. Tesla. Tesla has time to build on its commanding lead in market share. Ford Motor. A deal that gives the company access to Tesla's supercharger network is a good reason to take a closer look at Ford. Toyota. A measure twice, cut once strategy is about as safe as it gets for Toyota investors. Let's dive in. Here are the 3 safe EV stocks to buy for long-term gains. Welcome to Timely Investment Research. As electric vehicles transition from production lines to driveways, the sector gains clarity. This clarity guides investors on how to approach this sector. Although no surefire guarantees exist, even cautious investors can find safe EV stocks for long-term gains. Many EV startups are realizing the massive challenge of moving a vehicle from concept to production. Couple this with the endeavor to produce at scale, and the task grows exponentially. Therefore, when scouting for EV stocks for long-term gains, it's wise to favor those with a head start. I'm not implying that all these startups are destined to fail. Indeed, a few are on my watch list. However, I'm not buying yet. Even amidst the fear of missing out-driven surge in the market, it doesn't seem like the right time to go all in on speculative EV stocks. Fortunately, several EV stocks promise long-term gains. Here are 3 that appear to be the safest bets. Number 1. Tesla. Some investors may perceive my listing Tesla as one of the safe EV stocks for long-term gains to be an obvious choice. Others may offer the rebuttal that Tesla isn't a pure-play EV company. And some may criticize the choice of a company that has a forward PE ratio of over 85x earnings. That's hardly the definition of a safe stock. Then again, there aren't many stocks quite like Tesla. Tesla makes this list of long-term EV stocks to buy for several reasons. First, it has built up a commanding lead in market share. It's no longer unusual to see Teslas on the road or to hear of someone who owns a Tesla. And now that the company continues to grow its production capabilities, that lead is sure to increase. Plus, Tesla recently made deals with both Ford Motors and General Motors that grants consumers who buy those companies' EVs access to Tesla's charging network. This will provide an additional revenue stream for the company. And when you consider the future of Tesla, you have to consider the Musk effect. Few companies have a chief executive officer that can move the stock price of his company with a single tweet. But that's the effect that Elon Musk has on Tesla stock. Number 2. Ford Motor. Speaking of Ford Motor, they're the next stock on this list of safe EV stocks for long-term gains. The venerable automaker was one of the first manufacturers to go all in on electrification, and now consumers and investors are starting to see the fruit of that labor being rewarded. Ford already has 2 very popular models in production, the Mustang Mach-E and the electrified F-150 Lightning. And the company's deal with Tesla that allows Ford customers to use Tesla's network of superchargers will increase the available market for Ford EVs. However, the company isn't abandoning the production of internal combustion engine vehicles for now. As was made clear in the company's most recent earnings report, is that the EV business is still not profitable. Nevertheless, with a forward PE ratio of just over 8x, Ford Motor stock has a compelling valuation. Plus, investors do get a dividend with a juicy 4.24% yield. Number 3. Toyota. To make my case for Toyota being included on this list, I'll remind you that this is a list of safe EV stocks for the future. I'll also emphasize that electric vehicles don't have to be of the battery electric variety. Hybrid models still count, or at least they should to investors. Toyota is playing the role of skeptic. The company understands that the company's infrastructure isn't ready for mass adoption of EVs, but there is a lot of room for hybrid models. And Toyota is well known as a leader in that space. It's a calculated risk for sure, and some will say the company's hybrid-first strategy is a tacit acknowledgement that they have lagged the industry. But Toyota will be in the battery electric market in a big way by 2026. And if the company uses this time to ensure that it has a product that's as iconic as its current products, the company's measure twice, cut once strategy looks safe and sound. Thanks for spending some time with us today, Timely Investment Research. We're so glad you did. If you found value in today's video, please give us a like, hit that bell icon to never miss an upload, and hey, don't forget to subscribe.